My name is Andy Howard and I'm Director of the 14 to 16 College here at Hugh Baird. What I want to do is just give you a little introduction to what we're about, who we are, and why we think the 14 to 16 College is a really exceptional place. First of all, we are unique in the Northwest. We are the only college in the Northwest of England that has a full-time 14 to 16 provision. We do also have a part-time provision, but that is specifically for children and young people who are in electively home educated settings. Our full-time provision, however, is our mainstream offer. It's a different approach to education, a different experience to secondary. And it suits a lot of young people who have a clear idea about where they want to go. We are very much workplace ready and vocational focused, with all of our young people following pathways that enable them to go forward into higher education or further education and study a vocational qualification. The emphasis of the college is very much on providing a more mature approach for young people who find perhaps the rigours of school uniform or the rules and regulations of a mainstream secondary school not necessarily the right environment for them. Coming to college can be a breath of fresh air. While young people can wear precisely what they want in terms of clothing, they can look and dress how they want to be and express themselves freely. In that respect, we are a halfway house between school and the full FE experience. We still have rules and regulations like a secondary school, and we still provide a mainstream secondary education experience, but very much with an FE focus. Our aim is to transform the lives of 14 to 16-year-olds who come to us by giving them an alternative to traditional mainstream secondary provision, somewhere where they can go and find their voice in a safe, supported and accepting environment where we can help them plan and move on to the next stage of their career. With the FE experience, though, comes an element of maturity and expectations. We have three very simple expectations of our young people. The first expectation is they have the right to be safe and feel safe in college. It's a very large environment, but we make sure that it's a safe place for them. But they also have the right to learn, and we make sure that the environment they are in is conducive to their learning, and then we respect them as young adults so that they have that opportunity to grow and develop and learn their own voice. We have a very different approach to our delivery, both in terms of teaching and the content. We still have a broad and balanced curriculum, but very much more emphasis on their next steps. So all of our young people, for example, will still go on and get GCSEs in maths, English and science. But alongside that, we spend a lot of time focusing on their workplace ready skills, CV skills, interview skills, careers advice and guidance and things like that. But then the unique thing about the Hugh Baird 14 to 16 College is that we also provide them with a full vocational route as well. All of our young people will choose from one of 7 vocational pathways: motor vehicle maintenance, construction, health and social care, public services, travel and tourism, catering, and our newest one, hair and beauty. By following that vocational route, they learn from our experienced further education tutors in the facilities that the wider college students also learn and grow in. Alongside that, we also provide a lot of the usual stuff that you'd expect in a normal secondary school. So we have PE lessons, we have tutorials, all of our young people gain an IT qualification along the way as well. And all of our young people, to one degree or another, also gain other personal qualifications, whether it's the Achieve programme or GCSE citizenship. We make sure that our young people know about their place in society and how to grow and develop and be a productive part of society. For me, I've been working in education for over 30 years, and 10 of those in leadership, and an awful lot of those have been in secondary education. And for a lot of young people, secondary education works really well, but for some, it doesn't quite fit, either because they are more mature or have a more practical, hands-on approach to their learning than perhaps secondary education provides. And it's very much that the FE College provides for them. We give our young people the scope to grow and develop, to learn practical skills, to learn alongside older students as well. And that is very much the uniqueness that is Hugh Baird. We also have the huge benefit of being able to tap into all of the pastoral support that the wider college has as well. When you have a college with nearly 6,000 students, the student support services are much, much deeper and richer than any secondary school can potentially draw on easily. So our counselling services, our finance services, and things like that are very much there for all the 14 to 16 students, as well as for the older students as well. The experience that our young people would get, though, is very much a mixed bag of what they're used to in secondary school, so classroom setup with teachers at the front, because at the end of the day, how can you do maths and English lessons in any other way? But from lecturers, again, who are used to teaching more mature students. So the approach is very much more personable, very much more independent learning focused, where you as a young person have got to actually have that motivation to want to gain these qualifications. The help and support is there, but the delivery is much more respectful, much more appropriate if you are ready to move on to the next stage of your life. We also have a very strong support services provision within the Hugh Baird College. Every single one of our students has a teaching and learning assistant assigned to them who will know them and get to know them over the 2 years very, very well. Alongside that, we also have special needs support. We have our own Senko who provides all of the required tests and expertise to help young people that have specific learning needs. And we make sure that all provisions are in there for them to move forward and grow and develop and pass their exams as necessary. The Hugh Baird College, though, is very much about independence and respect, and giving young people that right and that space to grow in their own way. At the end of the day, though, we're very much also about outcomes and next steps. And we make sure that we prepare all our students for their next steps with very strong careers advice, work experience in a real relevant work experience environment for them. And then we help them prepare them on for the next stage. We're very proud of the fact that last summer, 100% of our students went on into either further employment, education or training courses. And over half of those stayed on at Hugh Baird to carry on their learning, which we're very proud of. And a big part of that is because we are very much a large family. The Hugh Baird feel is very much you come into college and our 14 to 16 students are mixing all the time with students from the wider college. The library facilities are the same, the canteen is the same. But then we have our own specialist 14 to 16 area with our own specialist staff that know and understand our young people very well. And that is the Hugh Baird experience. I don't know if there are any other questions that people have around that, but I'm more than happy to take any more questions. Here we go. So a question from Leanne: how many students are based at the 14 to 16 college and how big are class sizes? Well, thank you, Leanne. In the 14 to 16 college, we have approximately 200 students, so it's 100 per year group. And within that, we subdivide them into 5 classes. So our average class size is 20 in number. We do mix and match that a little bit. So students that have a greater need or who need a bit more personalized learning are in smaller class sizes. And those that can cope are in class sizes of maybe 22, 23 in number. Very much a different feel, perhaps, again, to a class of 30 in secondary school. Any more questions? Here we go. One from Ricky: how many hours a week am I in college? We're a mainstream setting, so we have to abide by all the normal secondary education laws around 14 to 16-year-olds. So our college day starts at 9 o'clock and finishes at 3, and that's 5 days a week. We have an extra hour, 3 till 4, Monday to Thursday, for enrichment and clubs and catch-up activities. And our lessons are hour-long lessons, so there are 5-hour-long lessons in the day, a morning break in the middle of the morning, and a 45-minute lunch in the middle. Quite a busy timetable for young people, but it's well organised and well structured, and there's a lot of sort of scope in there for additional work and enrichment. Gail, question from Gail: how many subjects can they choose and can they change their minds? It's a good question. We don't actually have much in the way of subject choices. The main core of our offer, English, Maths and Science, is set. There's a bit of an option there for young people. If they wish to, they can actually opt into a stream where they can also study English literature as well. That's an option there that we discuss with them at interview stage. And we also have a small option where some students can choose to either study a more deeper GCSE in IT qualifications, or they can study a GCSE qualification in PE. But for us, the bulk of our option choices as such is very much in their vocational pathway. And they choose their vocation at interview with us, where we talk about what they want to do and what their career ambitions are, and hopefully get the right career vocational route for them then. But if it doesn't work, it's not a problem. Our young people have a 6-week window that they can choose to change if they wish. That is subject to their being capacity, and all of our vocational routes are very popular, so there can be a little bit of a tight squeeze in places if a young person wants to change, but we do our very best to make them change. Just to go through those vocational options again: motor vehicle maintenance, construction, health and social care, public services, travel and tourism, catering, and hair and beauty. Question from Miriam: what facilities do we have that's different to school? That's a very big question because the college is very big. Hugh Baird College as a whole has got, I think, 7 different campuses, and our students work across 3 or 4 of them. On our main campus site on Balliol Road, our students have access to the whole college library, which is significantly larger than a lot of school libraries are. Our IT resources are also more comprehensive, being a larger organisation. I think for me, one of the first things that young people in the 14 to 16 college get sort of taken in by is the fact that we have a Costa coffee on site and a separate canteen area. But I think where we excel in our facilities is when we again go into the vocational. Our motor vehicle maintenance students, for example, study over in the motor vehicle building, over in the PAL building, where they're working on in a workshop that is larger than a lot of sort of professional garages, working on a range of different cars. Our construction students are working in the construction workshops, where again they're working alongside older students, building anything from cupboards and coffee tables through to spiral staircases and mock-up wooden frame houses. All of our students, though, get access to professional quality facilities. Our catering students get to work in the professional kitchens that our older catering students work in. The hair and beauty students are working in the salons up on the first floor, again, where our older students also practice and work. So it really is a much richer experience all around, with access to workplace and professional quality equipment and facilities. Question from David: will I have to wear a uniform? Absolutely not. If you come to Hugh Baird College, you can quite literally wear what you want, as long as it is practical, comfortable, and not offensive. A lot of our young people come dressed quite casually in the first instance and then start to express themselves. One of the things that changes quite radically is hair colour, for example. You are an FE college student at Hugh Baird, and so you wear what is comfortable and appropriate for you to do your job. There is one exception to that, and that's in the vocational area. On the one day you're in college on your vocation, you have to wear vocation appropriate uniform. That's provided by the college, but is something that we expect the students to have to pay for. So our motor vehicle students, for example, wear overalls and steel toe cap boots. Our construction students have special professional aprons and again steel toe cap boots. Our health and social care students and our hair and beauty students have wraparound tunics in the different colours. Travel and tourism have to wear effectively sort of almost like a business suit, the sort of uniform that you would see a cabin crew wearing in an airline or on the cruise ships. And our catering department have to wear chef's whites. So that's the only time we have a uniform. Thank you very, very much. That's all the questions we've had. If there are any further questions, please do contact us on our social media or via the college website. And do please, if you're interested, contact us online via the website. Thank you very much.